Hey guys, welcome back to the ExamRevision YouTube channel. My name is Ellen and today I'm going to be talking about the do's and don'ts of the Leaving Cert. Starting off strong, please start studying early. The longer you leave it, the longer you procrastinate, it's just going to go downhill from there. Literally the minute you start 5th/6th year, the work piles on. Like, teachers will be nice the first day, whatever, but you do honestly start straight into work. The minute you start getting work, the minute you start getting homework, notes, whatever, you need to start studying then. Because the earlier you start, the earlier you're starting to revise things, the earlier you're starting to start notes, the longer time you're gonna have. And if you're revising what you're learning as you go, it will make it so much easier when you finish the syllabus and then you actually have time to just go over everything. Next, literally the week or two you start 5th or 6th year, please make a study timetable. I already have a video on this channel dedicated to making a study timetable, so if you want advice or anything like that, go and watch that video. The next thing I'm going to talk about is staying organised. I know these tips are fairly general, but honestly, staying organised is so important because the minute you slip and you stop staying organised and things start piling up, the less motivated you're going to be to study. I don't know about you, but for me, the longer I stay disorganised, the least likely I want to study, because it's so daunting to have a bunch of stuff piled up that you need to organise and stay on top of. So if you stay organised, you're going to be more motivated to actually study because you have all of your things in check. The last do I'm going to talk about is use multiple resources. This can be your teacher's notes, the textbook, videos on YouTube. Also a great one I would recommend is ExamRevision courses. They have video lessons, presentations like notes, quizzes, exam questions for majority of the Leaving Cert and Junior Cert subjects. So using all of these resources, you can pull together and make your own notes and study, and you can figure out what the most important things you need to know is. Because I feel like if you're just like focusing on the book or focusing on your teacher's notes, things can be left out. Not by the fault of anyone, but like you might not realize that some definition is so important, or this information is really important and you need to know. So if you're using lots of different resources, you will start to quickly realize what information is showing up the most and what you really need to know. Starting with the don'ts, please don't overload yourself. I've talked about this a lot on this channel, but if you overload yourself, you're going to burn out so quickly. I know when you might start 5th year or 6th year and you make a fabulous study timetable and you're going to study 8 hours a day and it sounds great, but that's just not realistic. You need to factor in time for just relaxing, being with your friends, if you have extracurriculars like sport or anything like that. You need to have time to do all that and just chillax every night. And yeah, you might study the first week and do 8 hours a day and that's great, but in the long term, it's not going to work out. Along with that, try your best not to procrastinate. I know studying is difficult and doing your homework, and especially after a long day of school, you don't want to sit at the desk and do even more work. But the longer you leave it, the worse it's going to get. Midterm exams will come up, mini tests will come up, anything like that, and then you realise, well, I haven't been revising, so now I have to cram it all in one night. So please just try and procrastinate as little as you can. I know some nights you're not going to want to study at all, and that is completely fine. I had those days too when I was in Leaving Cert, but that does not mean it can be every single day. I know procrastination usually happens when you don't want to do something, so make sure to vary your study timetable so that you're not like always studying a subject that you find boring. Try to add in a little bit of a fun subject every day, just so you're a bit more motivated. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is do not neglect sleep. I know if you have procrastinated and you need to stay up all night and you want to study, you have a midterm, whatever, it's honestly not worth it. If you've been on school all day and if you've been studying a couple of hours after school, take your time to sleep. Do not stay up and keep studying and think it's going to be helpful to you, because it's not. None of that information is going in your head. It's going to be way more useful for you to go to sleep, and then the information you have learned will actually be retained. Lastly but not least, please do not neglect exam papers. I know so many people who just write notes throughout the year and think they're learning so much, and I'm sure they are, but do not leave exam questions until the last minute. For me personally, I literally have done every single exam question and mock question under the sun about 4 times. And that is so important, and it might sound stupid to be repeating them, but repetition is the key here, because every single question is going to get repeated on the Leaving Cert. So incorporate exam questions and exam papers into your study timetable and into your subjects when you're revising, because that is how to get the top grades. I really hope this video helped any of you out or gave you some tips. Don't forget to check out the ExamRevision courses and bundles in the link down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye!